Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. And I'm referring to the citizens of Nigeria. This is part two of the prophecy or the revelation I received for a new Nigeria in the year 2012. That's exactly 12 years ago. And I'm doing this recording October 2nd, 2024. I did the first one October 1, which was yesterday. And I spoke about a couple of things, starting with who I am. My name is Benga Richmond. And in 2012, I was caught up in a trance where God started to tell me 12 years ago about a new Nigeria. Please do not move forward with part two until you have gone through part one. Get the information in full, get the revelation in full. Please go to, this is part two or season two. So you need to go back to part one. Look for the video on YouTube that talks about a prophecy for a new Nigeria part one, because this is part two. So I've spoken about a whole lot of things there that you need to understand before you can come to part two. Okay, having said that, so let's continue from where we left off. So GRiNERIA is, like I started mentioning in part one, I talked about what GRiNERIA was, and we got to this point where I said GRiNERIA is a time of national famine for the global famine approaching. In part one, I talked about a famine. I received that there's going to be a famine, and this famine is not national, it's global. It's going to be a famine around the world, and people will be looking for food helter skelter. The nations of the world, the leaders of the world will be looking for food helter skelter, and God wants us to start farming now. I'm talking about October, October 2, 2024, like as soon as possible, so that we can prepare for the famine that is approaching. I don't know exactly when this famine is coming, but it is coming. So it is a time of GRiNERIA is going to be, which represents a new Nigeria, is a time of national famine for the global famine approaching. GRiNERIA is going to be a time of positioning. Look at the keywords. A time of, these are not my words, these are words that were revealed. GRiNERIA is going to be a time of positioning as the food basket of the world. Are you seeing the keywords? A time of, we are going to position, we're not going to hustle. We're going to position as the food basket of the world. God has chosen Nigeria in GRiNERIA to be the food basket of the world. There might be more than one food basket, but I'm assured that at least Nigeria is going to be, or GRiNERIA is going to be, one of the food baskets of the world that the nations of the world will come to for food. We're going to repeat the era of Joseph in the good book, where people from all over came to Egypt to buy, and they were ready to exchange lands, they were ready to exchange even their children, they were ready to give up themselves as slaves to Joseph, to Pharaoh, so they could access food. Something very similar is going to happen in your lifetime. You're going to see it. God says that, GRiNERIA is going to be a time of positioning as the food basket of the world. And I think I mentioned briefly that not even oil is supposed to be the mainstay of Nigeria. It's supposed to be food. All this land that goes from Lagos to Maiduguri, left and right, millions or billions of acres are for food. They're not supposed to be there for forest monuments. They're supposed to be farmed. They're supposed to be mechanized farming on a national scale. We're supposed to bring in equipments that can farm these lands and provide food on a national scale, and then the food, God will give an increase to the crops and the grains, such that we will even have an abundance and have enough to export. And it will coincide with when there's a famine globally, and Nigeria will be one of the food basket of the world. Okay, so of course, the natural next question is, what is in GRiNERIA for her people? So her people refers to Nigerians right now who are hurting, Nigerians right now who are hopeless, Nigerians right now who are scattered all over the world in despair, Nigerians right now who are on self-exile. I'll talk about that in a little bit through a phenomenon called Japa. What is in GRiNERIA for her people? Let's take a look. In GRiNERIA, there's going to be something called people first or servant leadership on a never before seen scale. That is what I received. That was what was revealed, that the government of GRiNERIA are going to put the people first, not themselves first. They're going to put the people first. And the style of leadership in GRiNERIA is going to be called servant leadership. So they will serve. You remember Jesus, the great leader, who said, "Who amongst you would wants to be the greatest?" And that whoever is going to be greatest among you must serve others. So GRiNERIA is going to be a time of putting people first in policies, in decrees, in laws, in distribution of wealth, in everything. And then it's going to be a time of servant leadership. The people who God is going to allow. The key word is allow. The people who God is going to allow to lead us in GRiNERIA are people who God has checked their heart and have seen that they truly, genuinely love the people and they are ready to serve the people. When you talk about servant leadership, there is nothing enticing about servant leadership, because when I hear servant leadership, all that comes to my mind is sacrifice. All that comes to my mind is putting people first. All I hear is love, genuine love for the people. So there's nothing selfish about servant leadership. So it's not an interesting endeavor. So that is what's going to happen in GRiNERIA. The government of the day, the leaders of the day are going to put people first. And the style of leadership is going to be servant leadership. And it will be on a never before seen scale. That was what was reviewed. And then in GRiNERIA, young stars are taking their rightful place in destiny. Up until now, the largest population of Nigeria are youth or young people, and they have been grossly irrelevant. If you understand what I'm saying, but in GRiNERIA, they are going to become rising stars. They're going to rise and take positions of leadership. And these young people are not going to lead because they are young. They're going to lead because they are young and chosen. So the days of elections are going to be kind of over in GRiNERIA from what was revealed. It will be more of selection by God. God will select the young people, refine and prepare them. He has prepared them anyway. Review them. So if you've prepared someone, I think the next thing to say is we will now review them. Having what's it called? Having prepared them is going to review them. So youngsters taking their rightful place in destiny is going to happen in a new Nigeria called GRiNERIA. And then there's going to be a mass exodus from Japa, which was interpreted as self-exile in Egypt, back to the promised land, which was interpreted as GRiNERIA. So right now there's no living soul in Nigeria that do not understand the word Japa. Japa is a household name now that refers to people escaping, jumping the third world fence abroad, in search of greener pastures. It's funny and it's not funny. No Nigerian really wants to go out there if not that they have been pushed to the wall. A typical Nigerian enjoys staying in Nigeria if the conditions were right for him or her and their family. So this max exodus or japa is as a result of so much pressure, especially financial, economic pressure, even security that is lacking in the current Nigeria, that is making a lot of people japa, escape, jump the third fence to Egypt. Now, Egypt refers to anywhere with better civilization: UK, US, Canada, Australia, wherever else where they feel they can get a better life, where they can experience a place that's greener than the current Nigeria. So, but in GRiNERIA, there's going to be a mass exodus. So all these people that have gone abroad, there's going to be a mass exodus. People I saw in the Revelation, people coming back in droves, in their millions, back to the promised land called GRiNERIA. And the primary purpose for their coming is they want to be a part of nation building. So there's going to come a time when we will need to call everybody back for nation building, and people will be glad to come because they will see genuineness. There will be enough events that will prove that it's time for nation building. And all these people who have gone abroad on self-exile, or some that have gone because God asked them to, whatever they have learned, the skills, the experiences, they're going to bring it back for nation building. That is what I saw. And then In GRiNERIA, there's going to be a shift from acquiring degrees for job hunting to productive skills for job creation. This is a whole book. That's why I said that the Green Mentorship Program is going to break down some of these things into practical, relatable skills that we can learn together based on what I have received, by revelation. So, GRiNERIA is going to represent an era which is a shift from acquiring degrees. You see people now, they have 2 masters, 10 masters. Some people finish BSc, and because there's no commensurate job for their certificate, they go on to do masters. And when there's no commensurate job for their degree, they go on to do second masters, third masters, and even some go as far as PhD. So God is saying there's going to be a shift from acquiring degrees so that you can hunt for jobs to productive skills for job creation. In the book, this book I wrote, I showed you in part one. This book I wrote in 2012, 12 years ago, GRiNERIA. If you search it out on Google, GRiNERIA, End of the Old, Birth of the New. In this book, I spoke about a shift from degrees to skills. That instead of spending 4, 5, 6 plus X years, number of years of strike or months, that God wants Nigeria to move into productive skills like graphic design, skills like software development, skills that you can pick up in 3 to 6 months. You can get certified in 3 to 6 months and begin contributing productively to Nigeria. So it's going to be a massive shift from acquiring degrees. So the time it will take you to do 4 years course, if you are getting a degree, if you are getting certified, let's even say 6 months. So in 1 year you've gotten 2 degrees. Assuming you decide to do that, it's not necessary, right? But let's do the math. If in 1 year, if you are doing one course for 6 months, a program for 6 months, a diploma for 6 months, that means in 1 year you can get two. And I hope you know that you can do a course in 3 months, but let's just say 6 months. So 2 courses in a year times 4 years, you already have 8 skills, 8 certified skills versus 1 degree where you're hunting for job versus 8 skill sets, 8 certifications where you are versatile and can contribute multilaterally, to different small businesses or organizations out there. So GRiNERIA is going to represent a shift from acquiring degrees for job hunting to productive skills for job creation. And then GRiNERIA is going to represent a shift from an oil dependent economy, to a multi economy. So we're talking about agriculture, we're talking about tech, we're talking about education, we're talking about manufacturing, and later food export, skill export, etc. So I'm going to stop here again because by my time, I see that we've done like 20 to 25 minutes. I want these videos to be easy to digest, for you to also be able to breathe, and go on to the next video. So, and what I usually say at the end of each session, this is part two, is that there's a question of the day at the end of each video. And the question for the day is, what one thing, is still the same question, what one thing will make you grin or smile if you wake up and it's on the news about Nigeria, and why? What one thing will make you grin stroke smile if you wake up and it's on the news about Nigeria, and why? Or better still, let's do it like this. Instead of you answering this question, why not we answer this question? What skill would you like to learn? So let's make it more dynamic. What skill would you like to learn that can be done in 4 to 6 months? I want you to drop your comment in description. Tell me one skill you would like to learn, and from your research is something you can learn in 4 to 6 months and get certified instead of going for a 4 year, 5 year, 6 years course. So the best comment, the person who describes this skill and their passion for this skill, we might just pick one person and sponsor the GRiNERIA. Will sponsor that one. GRiNERIA is an NGO, by the way. So we'll pick one person out of the comments and send the person for a training. Send the person for training and pay on all expense online training in that skill that you have outlined in the comment section, fully paid and you'll be certified in it. So drop it in the comment section. So the winner will be announced on our Telegram group. So please go in the description and click the link to join our Telegram group. The winner for this session, this part 2 of this series, will be announced on the Telegram group, and then we will sponsor you for that course so that you can get certified within 4 to 6 months. Okay, then also by December 31st this year, I'll be turning 40, and as a way to give back to the society or to my community or to my world, I'm going to, on that very day, December 31st, kick off something I call the GRiN Mentorship Program. So this GRiN Mentorship Program is going to have courses in good success in business. It's going to talk about kingdom principles for business success, kingdom principles for leadership success, kingdom principles for workplace success. So for those who work 9 to 5 or remote workers, I have a lot of principles that will make you succeed. I'm a remote worker myself, so the principles I've applied and made me successful, good success. I'm not talking about Lamborghinis and all that. Good success. I will share some of those principles with you, and then also I also own a business or businesses, if you will. Some of the principles I've applied to help me succeed in business, I'll share them with you as well. And then I believe I'm a leader because I'm influencing at least one person, so that qualifies me to be a leader. Some of the leadership principles that can make people listen to you and for you to impact them, I will also be sharing them at the GRiN Mentorship Program. So this program is going to kick off on the 31st. It's free of charge, no pressure. You don't have to pay anything. It's my gift to the world. And then from what I wrote here, it's free for the first 500 people to fill the Google form in the description. So there's going to be a Google form in the description, and you need to fill, and then the first 500 people, we can decide who these 500 people is. After all, you're not paying us a dime, so we'll choose these 500 people and we'll send you an email giving you more information on how you can be a part of the GRiN Mentorship Program. So that's that for that. Thank you so much for your time. Please watch out for part 3 of this. I'm breaking it down to 20-25 minutes so it's easy to digest, so watch out. And then of course subscribe to this channel so you can keep hearing more about GRiNERIA and what God has revealed, and share to your friends and family. Don't be selfish about it. If you think there's somebody who will connect with this message at this time, please share to them and make sure they are part of this movement. Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye for now.